When you're out and about at these auctions, over the last month, where prices have been pretty flat in those two main markets of Sydney and Melbourne, what's going on in the mind of sellers? Because that's a significant drop in listings for auctions.
It is. What we're seeing is it's the first time that interest rates have risen for a decade, and people are starting to get a little bit nervous. So sellers are considering whether or not it is a good time to put their homes on the market. So we have been seeing over the last number of weeks lower numbers of buyers going through properties, lower numbers of people at auctions, and fewer people actually bidding at auctions. And I think all of that is starting to reflect in the number of homes for sale and what's happening in the market at the moment.
Right, so the buyers are less keen as well from what you're seeing.
That's right. Buyers are getting a little bit nervous about what is going on with interest rates and other things at the moment. They're taking a little bit of a pause because if you're a buyer and you're shopping at the moment and you've got a pre-approval in place, if you haven't purchased yet and that pre-approval is about to expire, when you go back to your bank, they're going to assess you at the raised interest rates. So there's going to be folks out there that are not necessarily going to be able to shop with the same budget because they may not be approved for that same budget. It may be less.
Right, okay, so that's having a material effect on those pre-approvals. I should say that it's not uniform across the board. In Brisbane, auction listings are pretty flat this week. In Adelaide, they're actually up on last week as well. Let's talk about house prices. So the chief economist at AMP, Shane Oliver, reckons that house prices could drop 15% in Sydney and Melbourne by the end of next year. Other economists don't think it's going to be that much. Do you want to take a stab?
I don't think that we're necessarily going to see drops as much as that. I do think we have good fundamentals that do underpin the market. As soon as our borders start to reopen and we have people coming in, migration hasn't happened for the last few years. So I think that the fundamentals are still there. But I do think that people are a little bit cognizant of where they are for their own personal circumstances, and they're just taking a little bit of extra care in what the next step is in relation to buying or selling a home.
So, Wendy, what are you advising clients then who are coming to you saying, look, I think I want to move, maybe I want to get something bigger, maybe I want to get something further out, just a bit of a change. Are you telling them to go for it now, or are you suggesting that they wait for a bit? What's your advice?
I think what we're going to see is the next probably 2 to 4 months, things are going to be okay for selling, but I think then things may become a little bit more of a question mark for people that are looking at what's going on with interest rates, because we do feel that there will be some more interest rates that occur over the rest of the year. And so that's something to take into consideration. One of the things that I do say to clients is, how long are you going to be looking to hold this home? Because if you're looking at a 10-year plus purchase, well then over time, real estate has shown that it does go up. So that is something that I do suggest to clients that they consider. And so I always say, when's the best time to buy or sell? It's when you're ready, not necessarily what is going on in the market.